time, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want you to be aware of is that I'm going to be recording this class so that when the class is over, if you'd like, I can send you a copy of the very class that you just attended, okay? All right, and okay, so this is the online store class. The online store class basically is going to go over the proper setup of the online store. Now, most of the people today are setting up the online store so that it will work in conjunction with the new app that has been released. So there are going to be things that might be duplicates. Like, for instance, you might say, okay, well, I'm not really going to be using this online, as a website. I'm only using it for the app portions, and that's just fine. It still has to be set up. Whether your customers will ever access it as a website or on their computers or anything like that has nothing to do with it. Once it's set up, it'll work with your app. Okay, so, and of course the app does quite a bit more than what I'm going to show you, but it still needs to be set up. All right. So we're going to click on this button here that says Online, and that's going to take us to this window that says Set Up Online Store. And it might look a little confusing. It's actually very simple, but I'm going to go over each one of these fields with you so you'll see just how simple it is. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the actual web address of the business if you have a website. If you don't, you can leave it blank. But in my case, for instance, I would put in www.prosolutionsoft.com. Because that's my website, so that's what I would put in there. Then the email address. The email address is, again, unnecessary. However, it does have some nice features. For instance, if you put an email address in here, the site can make you aware when somebody makes a retail purchase online or books themselves an appointment online or purchases a gift certificate online. Now, you don't necessarily have to be notified, because if somebody books online, the appointment is going to be on your appointment book, and it's going to have its own unique online color, and it's going to say the word web next to it. Plus, you can run reports saying, hey, I want to see everybody that booked online last night or last week or for any date range you put in. So, again, it's not have to be notified about. If somebody makes a purchase of something online, for instance, a retail purchase, or purchases a gift certificate. Well, if they purchase a gift certificate, they can print it right out from their computer as on a piece of paper with your logo on it, etc. If they're not using that, if they're just using the app, then their phone will actually become their gift certificate that you can scan right from their phone or take the number off their phone. Either way, you don't necessarily need to be made aware of it, because once they purchase the gift certificate, it's available to them, either via email or right on their phone, and then they can come in and use it, and your software is already aware of it. Next, if somebody were to purchase a product online, then in your point of sale, you get notified. There is an alert that pops up that tells you that an online purchase has just been made. So again, the email telling you that somebody's made that purchase is not necessarily something that you absolutely have to have. But if you're going to put something in here, then we recommend that you put in a manager's email address or an info email address or something like that. So in my case, it would be something like info@prosolutionssoftware.com. Next, the terms and conditions. Again, if you're only using the app, you can leave this blank. However, if we're going to be using the website, then you're really going to want to have something here, because you want something for the people to be able to reference back that might say what your cancellation policy is, or perhaps your gift certificate policy, or whatever it may be. Now, I'm going to be using all three items: appointments online, gift certificates online, and retail online, and so I've addressed all three of them in the terms and conditions. When you first get this is a blank white box. You write whatever you'd like to write in here. Again, it can be left blank if you don't want to put something in there. I would recommend putting something there. Next is the bottom message. Now, at the bottom of the web page, there is a tiny little line of text, and it might say something like Pro Solutions Software 2017, all rights reserved, which is what I'm going to change this to. Then again, it might say something like, if you have any questions, please call, and then a telephone number. You can put anything you like there. It's simply a tiny little line of text at the bottom of the web page. Most people actually just leave it blank. It's entirely up to you. Next, the API login and the API transaction key. These are not required if all you're doing is appointments online. However, if you want to be able to sell or gift certificates either through the app or through the website. You must have an API login and transaction key. So how do you get them and what are they? Okay, so there is a website called authorize.net. Authorize.net is actually the name of the company as well. Authorize.net is what ProSolutions uses as the payment gateway for online purchases. Now, that does not mean that it is your credit card processor. Your credit card processing can go through our preferred provider, which is Bantiv, or whomever you'd like. But whoever that credit card processor is, they're going to supply you with an online merchant ID. That's what you need to get from them. It's separate and different from your brick and mortar ID that you currently use in-house. And that is required, by the way, not just by us. It's required by the payment card industry. You cannot accept payments online and then process them through a brick and mortar machine. It must be processed through an online merchant ID. And again, that's a requirement of the payment card industry. There's different reasons for it, but the biggest reason, in my opinion, is because they get to charge you more. And so, there's just no way around that, unfortunately. I know I'm being a little cynical when I say that, but there you have it. Okay, so once you get your online merchant ID from whomever your credit card company is, you're going to then go to authorize.net and set yourself up an account. And when you do that, you will be given a login and transaction key from authorize.net. And that's what you'll put here. That will then allow you to sell gift certificates or retail products online. Now, if you're already doing like an online store or something like that, you may already have an online merchant ID. You may very well even have an authorize.net account. And the reason I say that is because they're the largest payment gateway online for small business. So maybe not, but if you don't, I just showed you how to do it. If you do, you can plug those right in here. Next, your main image, your side banner image, and your bottom banner. Well, let's take a look at what we're actually talking about here. It might look something like this. I say might because, as you can see, there's a lot of empty space on the left and right here, and that empty space is simply because this has been formatted for a smartphone. But it can be used on a computer, just like you're seeing here. It can be just a web page. And that top banner, that's what we're talking about here, where the one that says Bella Renaissance Live Studio. And then the side banner, that's this one here with the foot that says relax, and the bottom banner, let us take you to Nirvana. You'll have your own banners. And they don't have to, they can be pretty much any size you want. However, have specific specs for those, everything fit properly. All you have to ask for those specs, we'll give them to you. Or, even better, our graphic arts department can make the banners for you. If you said, hey, I need help making my banners, here's my logo and this is my idea, then our graphic arts department can actually make some for you, send them back to you. Once you have them, whether you made them yourself or you had our graphic arts department do it for you, and by the way, our graphic arts department is free. We do not charge you to do graphic arts for you. That's just part of what you pay every month, so don't worry about that. But if you have done it yourself, or if we've sent them to you, you will simply to upload. And then you can go to browse and browse to wherever you've saved that main image. That's the top banner. And you'll look to be aware of. It must be 500K or smaller, 500,000 bytes or less. And it must, if you are the online version of the software, in other words, if you're using cloud, it must be a JPEG. If you're using an installed version, then you can go with a GIF, a JPEG, a TXT, or a PNG. But again, if you're using the cloud, which most are now, it must be a JPEG. So 500K or smaller and a JPEG, browse to it, upload it, and you can change the look. After you've uploaded your images, then you get to choose your main color. Now, the main color is the color that's going to be behind the images. You notice this kind of ugly green here that I've got, and that's the color I've chosen. So how do I choose a color? I simply click on the box, choose a color. I'll go with something a little bit different here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll go with this yellow and save. Now we'll refresh, and now it's yellow. So it's really simple to make those types of changes. Now, I don't like yellow, so I'm going to go back to my ugly green and save. There we go. And now we're going to go back to green. And there it is again. Okay, so now, after we put in our main color, we're going to choose our background color. The background color is really not that big a deal because it's really making up this wasted space. But you don't want it to clash really badly with the other colors that you may have chosen, especially if you're going to be using the actual website. If you're using the website, your customers are going to see that. You don't want it to be too bright where it hurts the eyes or something that really contrasts poorly with the color you chose for your main screen. Then your font size. The words that are going to be throughout the software. So for instance, let me click on Book Now. You'll notice it says, welcome to our online booking feature, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, username, password, et cetera. That's your fonts, and those are your font sizes. We recommend the font size of 3 or 4. If you get too small, a 2 or less, or if you get too big, a 5 or more, then you might start messing with the format. So 3 or 4 are your options. Next, the font name. We have already put Arial in for you, and we recommend that you leave it that way. It's one of the easiest fonts to read online. Having said that, you can change the font to any font you'd like that's installed on your computer. So you could actually write in a different font name here. But again, Arial is the most commonly used and easily read online. That's why we've chosen it. We recommend you simply leave it there. Next is your font color. Again, just click on the box and choose any color you'd like. However, make sure that your font color contrasts sharply with your main color. So if your main color is light, your font color should be very dark, like a black or a deep purple or something like that. If your main color is dark, like a dark purple, then your font color might be something like white or yellow or something like that. Again, the font color and the main color must contrast sharply. And the reason for that is because you need them to be readable. If my main color was a dark purple and my font color was black, it would be almost impossible to read the words. So again, contrast between main color and font color. Next is the hyperlink color. You'll notice our links have colors to them. And so what I've said is, I want my hyperlinks to be this blue. Again, just click on it, choose whatever color you'd like, and there you are. Now, once one of your customers has visited a link on their computer, I've chosen a previously visited link color. What it means is that they have gone to that link in the past. That's all it means. And then the mouse over link color, I like to be, again, I would choose a hot pink. You can choose anything you'd like. But what the mouse over link color does is that when you bring your mouse over a link, it changes it to that color so that you know you're about to activate that one if you clicked. So I've obviously gone to Home before and gone to Store because those are my burgundy ones. I've never gone to Sign Up or Help because those are my light blue. And my Create Free account, again, light blue, so I haven't used it. But my Home and Store I have, which is why they're burgundy. Okay, so moving on. After my mouse over link color, my active hyperlink color, I simply like to use that as the same color as my hyperlink color. Basically, it just means this is the link that you're in. And then finally, if you're using the page, you want buttons. And so I've chosen green buttons, like these. I've chosen green buttons simply because it goes with the rest of my artwork and my colors, etc. Okay? All right. So once I've chosen all of this, I simply press Save. I have now created my storefront. Now, just because my storefront exists, that does not mean that my customers now have the ability to book appointments or purchase gift certificates or purchase retail online. In fact, they can't until you have set these up. And you set them up this way. First, we're going to talk about appointments. And by the way, as you can tell, I speak rapidly, and I really don't give you many opportunities to jump in. So if you have any questions whatsoever on anything, please feel free to interrupt me. Just say, hey, Matt, I've got a question. And I will stop, and you'll be able to ask your question. So next is appointments. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to bring up this Set Up Online Appointments window. The first thing you're going to do is type in your welcome message. So I've written, welcome to our online booking feature. If you have not yet registered, please click on the Create Your Free Account Now and assign yourself a username and password. If you have already created an account, please feel to log right in Joe J. Now, why on earth does it say Joe J? Well, look, it says it right there. The reason it says that is because I like to show everybody that what you write is instantly readable by your customers. So I'm going to put in Madeline here.
Okay.
And save. You have a question?
No. As far as being able to do this, I like your wording. Will I be able to have your wording in that?
Okay, well, it is blank. It is blank for you, but if you'd like, of course, you can feel free to have us help you set it up. And if you said, you know, hey, I want to use this wording, then absolutely. In fact, don't forget, I'm recording this class.
Okay.
So I'm going to send you an email, and so you could just, you know, you could pause it on this screen and write down what that is there if that's what you'd like to put in.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go back up here. So after you've written your, by the way, did you notice that it says Madeline here now instead of JJ? Okay. All right. So whatever you write here is going to be instantly readable to your customers every time they go in. Next is the confirmation message. And what does that mean? Well, when your customer goes through the process of actually booking themselves an appointment online, not only will they be able to see a message that says, congratulations, you've successfully booked your appointment online, but they will receive an email as well. And that email will include that verbiage. So you're going to write whatever you'd like, but basically what it's telling your customer in this field is that you are confirming the fact that they have booked their appointment. So whatever you want to write there, that's what you'll write. Next, cancellation policy. Well, you know what that is.
Yeah.
So you write your cancellation policy right in here. Your cancellation policy will appear throughout the process of booking an appointment online. There's a couple of different times that your customers will see it. And remember, when they do successfully book their appointment, I told you they receive an email. That email will also include your cancellation policy. So whatever you want to put in there and there. Next, we've got our show prices. If this is blue with a plus sign, your default prices for your services will appear when your customers go to book themselves an appointment online. If it is gray with an X, and you can change it simply by clicking on them, but if it is gray with an X, then your default prices will not appear. So if 99% of the time the price that you have on your menu is the price that you charge, then go ahead, show prices, absolutely. However, if all of your staff has different prices for different things, and it changes based on who they see, so maybe I get service A from Jane, it's $100, but if I get the same service A from Joan, it's $110, and if I get the same service A from Sally, it's $90, then I might not want to show my prices. And I may want to include something in my text that might say something to the effect of, prices may vary based on the provider selected, or something like that. Again, entirely up to you. So whether or not you show your prices is up to you, but those are some reasons why you may or may not. I prefer not to show my prices. Next, hours in advance. What does that mean? Well, let's say that you open at 9:30 in the morning, and it's 8:30 in the morning, and I'm at home, and I go to your website, or I go to my app, and I'm going to book myself an appointment. Well, if it's 8:30 in the morning, and I have hours in advance set at 1, then the earliest appointment that I would be able to see, if it was available, I wouldn't get it if it's not available, but if it is available, would be 9:30. If it was 9 o'clock in the morning, the first available appointment that I'd be able to see, if it was available, would be 10 a.m. If it was 1 in the afternoon, the first available appointment I'd see would be 2 in the afternoon, because I'm advancing it 1 hour. That prevents somebody from booking for an appointment 5 minutes from now or 10 minutes from now, and then showing up, and you were not prepared for them because you had no idea they weren't there. So you might put a 2 or a 3 in there even. It's entirely up to you. I like a 1, so that's what I've done. Max days out works the same way as hours in advance, except instead of by hour, it does it by days. So by having a 0 here, I'm letting somebody book an appointment for the same day that they're going through the process of booking. So if it was 10 o'clock in the morning and I booked myself an appointment, I wanted to book an appointment through the app or online, then I would be able to book it for today. But if I put a 1 here, then my customers would not be able to book an appointment until tomorrow. If I put a 2 here, it would be until the day after tomorrow. So that's what that is. It's advancing by day. I like a 0 to allow people to book for later today. If I put a 1 in there, like I said, the first available option would be tomorrow. Next, cancellation policy. This is the number of hours that your cancellation policy is. So if you said, you know what, I am not going to allow people to cancel within 72 hours, well, then that's going to be 72. And you might not, you might say 3 days is our policy. Well, then that's 72, not 3, because it's not by day, it's by hour. So if you said, I don't want my customers being able to unbook or cancel online, I need them to call me. Well, then you might put like a 480 in here, and that would be 20 days. If they were within 20 days, they wouldn't be able to unbook their own appointment. Okay? 720 would be 30 days. They wouldn't be able to book their appointment within that time. They would have to call you to do so. So again, it's entirely up to you what you want to put in there. Next, the booking color. When somebody books an appointment online, it's going to be whatever color you've chosen here, and you can click on that box and choose whatever color you'd like. Again, remember, on the appointment book, the words are in black. So make sure that your booking color, whatever it is, has contrast with black. Don't make it a dark purple. You won't be able to read what the appointments are. But something like this, for instance, they would. So you just click on that box, choose the color you want, and hit OK. By doing that, every time somebody books an appointment online, it will have that unique color, so you know that it was an online booking. And it will also have the word web next to it. Again, you'll know that it was booked online. Next, we have only book on the. Only book on the what? On the hour, on the half hour, on the quarter hour, etc. I like on the hour or on the half hour. I just find it cleaner, but you can do it any way you want. But how does this work? Well, let's say that Madeline is a provider, and Madeline is available tomorrow from 12 to 5. She leaves at 5, but she's got no appointments booked for all of the afternoon. Okay? So if I said only book on the hour and somebody wanted to book with Madeline, then the options they would be shown would be 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it. Those would be the only options. If you set it for on the half hour, then they would be able to book at 12, 12:30, 1, 1:30, 2, 2:30, etc. However, if I start getting into the quarter hours or the 10 minutes or the 5 minutes, then it might be in 5 hours, quarter hour is going to give them 20 options. 10 minutes is going to give them 30 options, and 5 minutes is going to give them 60 options. That can be a little bit unwieldy, and I find it a little messy. However, some of our customers absolutely require that so that they can just squeeze things in, and that's fine. So you go with whatever you'd like. I prefer on the hour or the half hour. I'm going to put it on the hour. Next, we have select which operators, groups, and or services will be restricted. Remember, this says restrict. So what does that mean? That means that whoever I put a check next to will not be able to be booked online. If I have any staff that I do not want to have the ability to be booked online, I simply put a check next to their name. They will not be available for online bookings. Then groups. You know what a group is because you use the software. So you'll simply go down to your groups and you will put a check next to every group that you do not want booked online. You might not have any checks because you might want all of your groups to be booked online, and that's fine. Then you have your list of services. All of your services will be listed. And you might say, yeah, you know what, I let my massages be booked online. As you can see, I do because I don't have it checked. I let my massages be booked online, but certain massages I don't want booked online. So then you can put a check next to individual services, even though the group that they're in can be booked online. So that's what the check boxes are for. What you put a check next to cannot be booked online, whether it's an individual service, a group of services, or a staff member. Once I've set all of that up, I simply press save and exit. And now I have set up my appointments online. So let's take a look. So I'm going to put in my username and password, which I've already done. And it's really simple because Bella is her name and her last name is Bella too. Makes it easy for me to remember. So Bella has created a username for herself. And now that she's put them in, she can log in. And again, she can do this right from her smartphone using your app. And then they choose the group that they're interested in. So she would like to get, for instance, a facial. So she chooses facials and then the service that she wants to get. And these are those facials that I allow to be booked. So she chooses the European facial. Then she gets to choose from a list of the staff members that can provide that service. So she could say, I want anybody, because she doesn't know who she wants to see. And then it'll simply do a round robin based on only the people who provide it. Or she can choose somebody specifically, like Jessica. And then she can select a specific date that she would like to book the appointment for. So I don't even know if Jessica works on the 23rd. I guess we'll find out. So now I can click on check times, and it's going to give me every available time that Jessica is available on that day. And so we're going to go with 10 a.m. Perfect. 10 a.m. on the 23rd for a European facial with Jessica. Continue to confirmation. It tells me everything that I'm about to do. I can book this appointment, or I can add another service before I book, or I can wipe it out and start over. Notice, by the way, my cancellation policy is here. So I'm going to go ahead and book that appointment. And my appointment has been booked successfully. I'm done. Appointment's booked. And I got an email, or Bella did. She received an email saying that it's been booked successfully for a European facial at 10 a.m. on August 23rd with Jessica. And so then, if we were actually in the software, then in the appointment book on the 23rd, which is tomorrow, under Jessica's name, there's 10 a.m., there's Bella. You'll see it's yellow. It's for a European facial, and it says web next to it. So it worked exactly the way it was supposed to work, whether they were using it with their smartphone or they were doing it online through the website. So that is appointments online. Let's go back to the main store, and let's go back to setting up. So we've set up our appointments now, and now our customers can, in fact, book their appointments through the app. Next is gift cards or gift certificates. I'll click on this. This is the simplest one there is, because all you need are shipping methods. You don't need anything else. Can you offer packages online? Yes. If you have set up packages, then you can choose the packages that are going to be booked online. If you have not set up packages, or you don't care to do packages, that's fine. Leave them blank. And everything will just be a dollar amount, which is what most gift certificates are anyway. But then we need to choose our shipping methods. If you're simply using the app, you don't need any shipping method other than email. If, however, you say, no, I want to be not just have them do it on the app, I want to be able to ship them out a gift card, a physical card, or ship them out a physical paper certificate. Unnecessary, because they can print the certificate out at home if you've got it under email. But again, if you want to do that, then you can add other shipping methods. So I've got 3 here. I've got email, in-shop pickup, and USPS first class. Well, how did I get them there? Well, I'm going to delete them. And save. And now look, I no longer have any shipping methods. When you first go to set this up, you won't have any shipping methods either. So how do we create them? As you can see, no shipping methods. I simply type in the name, like email. And then I give it a price, 0. My email's free. And add. Your shipping charge has been added. That's it. Simple as that, and there it is. So let's do pickup in store. And I'm going to say that's also 0, and add. There we go. Now I've got that in there. And then finally, I'm going to say USPS first class, and I'm going to say that my shipping charge for that is $2.50, and add. So now I've got 3 of them: email, pickup in store, and by the way, you could have more. You could do FedEx overnight, $20, whatever. But there it is. Email's free, pickup in store is free, USPS first class is $2.50. I'm done. I'm good. I can save everything and exit out. That's it. I just set up my gift certificates online. So let's take a look. Let's go back to the store. Let's go to gift certificates. And your customers are then going to be able to do this again through their app or through the online store. They can type in first name, do my wife here, and then the dollar amount. We'll say $100. Don't need to put in the decimal 00. It's already there for you. I'm not doing a gift package, so there's no gift packages to choose from. As you can see, you enter a dollar amount or a gift package. So I just put in my dollar amount and my personal message. Congratulations on being married to me. And then I get to ship it to myself, ship it to a recipient, or print it out today. I'll just say, I'll stick with ship it to myself and choose my shipping terms. I'm going to go with email. And look, there are the 3 that we set up: email, pickup in store, and USPS first class. So I'll go with email and continue. So now it has the information, add another gift certificate to your order, or proceed. I'm going to go ahead and say proceed. Let me make it a little bigger so you can see it. Your customer will then put in their credit card information. Now, if they were going to do an actual shipment, like it was a gift card, then they can choose to ship to a different address, and they can put in that address. If not, they simply fill in this information and hit process. Once they have done that, their credit card will be charged. If the credit card is accepted, in other words, if it wasn't declined, then they will receive an email because they chose email. And that email will be the gift certificate that they can then print out and use. Or if they're using the app, then right there on their smartphone, the gift certificate will appear. And at any time, using the app, they can open their gift certificate. So they can walk right into your shop, open their gift certificate, and you can scan it if you have a barcode scanner to give them their discount. If you don't have a barcode scanner, the number will be there along with the barcode. So instead of scanning it, you can simply type in the number. So they don't have to print it out. It's right there on their phone. Okay, so let's go back here. And let's talk about products now. So I'm going to go to retail. And I get to set up my featured products first. Featured products are the products your customers are going to see as soon as they open the app and go to retail, or if they go to your website. So you put in the SKU numbers of your featured products, and you can change it every day, or you can change it every week, or this is our featured product of the month, whatever it is. You don't have to change it. Once you put it in, you can just leave it. So you put in those SKU numbers, and you can do up to 10 featured products. I've said I just want to do 6, so that's what I've done. And then I have my shipping per item. How much am I going to charge for each item that somebody buys? I said $2.50. So if they bought one product, I'm going to charge them $2.50 plus whatever the cost of the product is and tax. Or if they bought 3 products, then it would be $7.50 in shipping that I'm charging them. Whatever it is, you put in your shipping item there. That's per item. Then on the left-hand side here, we have our manufacturers. Some of your manufacturers do not allow their products to be sold online because of diversion. I'm sure being in the beauty industry, you're probably very familiar with diversion. And because of that, if you've got manufacturers that say, hey, you can't sell our products online, just like you can't sell our products at Rite Aid or Walmart or Walgreens. It can only be sold in the store. Okay, then you put a check next to any manufacturer that has told you that information. And then those manufacturers' products will not be available for sale online. Next, you'll go to your categories. So I've said my shampoos can be sold online, but my sculptings can't. My finishers and my conditioners and my skincare products can be sold online, but my body products, my miscellaneous and my brushes can't. My nail polishes can, but my tapes can't, etc. Whatever you put a check next to can't be sold online. Now, what if you've got a manufacturer, let's say like L'Oreal, and L'Oreal says, look, you can sell our products online. And you'll find L'Oreal products in Walgreens and Walmart and Kmart and everything else. However, L'Oreal's got some very high-end products, like their Kerastase line. And L'Oreal says, yeah, you can sell our products online, but you can't sell our Kerastase products online. Aha, okay. So I might have a manufacturer like L'Oreal, and I'm just going to choose Paul Mitchell, but I'm not going to click it, of course, but that says, yes, you can, but within that manufacturer, there are products that you can't. So I've said Paul Mitchell can be sold online, and I can sell the Awa Pui Keratin and the PM Dry Wash and the Paul Mitchell Awa Keratin Cream Rinse, but I can't sell the Awa Moisturizing Lather. So with something like L'Oreal, you could say, yeah, most of the products I'm going to leave unchecked, but the Kerastase products I'm going to check. Those can't be sold online. Once you have set that up, you press Save and Exit. Save and exit. So let's take a look. Your featured products are the products that your customers will see first. Now, that doesn't mean they can't go to shampoos and see all of your shampoos or finishers or conditioners, etc. They can see all of those things if they click on them. These are the categories that you offer, but these are the featured products. And maybe there's just one, like I said. and that's your featured product of the week or whatever it is. It's entirely up to you. So they can choose, make it a little bit bigger. And so let's say, for instance, that a customer decided they wanted to get the TG Cat Root Boost 8-ounce. So they're going to go ahead and they're going to click on that product. And when they click on that product, it's going to let them know a couple of things. First, whether or not the product is in stock. Then the manufacturer, by the way, if it's not in stock, they cannot purchase it. They'll have to wait for it to come back in stock. If you've run out, they can't buy it online. So in stock, manufacturer, finisher, and a description of what that product is. In this case, I wrote, this product is for root coloring treatments and not to be used on oily hair. Cindy, just like I did with Joe J. and Madeline earlier, whatever you write in the description, your customers will see. And you might say, okay, well, how did you get that information in there? And how did you get the picture in there too? How'd you do that? Okay, in the software, you've got inventory. In your inventory, you've got a button that says upload image. And if I click on that, I can upload a picture of my product. And you might say, well, where am I getting the picture of the product from? Well, you can use your digital camera and just take a picture of it right on your shelf. Or, and probably the easiest way, would be to simply go online and say, let's say Paul Mitchell, Awa Pui, there we go. And then I'm going to hit images. And all of the Paul Mitchell Awa Pui products are going to appear. So I'm going to grab the one I want, and I'm going to save it to my computer. If I've got it saved, then I'm going to be able to upload the image. So that's how you do something like that. Make sure you upload a JPEG. So make sure you download a JPEG. Next, the long product description for online. So you get to write whatever you want in here. And whatever you write here is what your customers will see. Is what your customers will see here. This product is for root coloring. So your customer decides, yeah, that's what they want to buy. So they add it to their cart, add to cart. Now they can continue shopping and adding other things to their cart, or they can go to checkout. And again, they put in their credit card information. If where they want it shipped is different, they simply check this box and they can put in that information where they want it shipped. If that's not checked, it'll go to whatever they have here. Now, unlike a gift certificate, they're not obviously going to have a product emailed to them. Obviously, you have to get a physical product. So when they fill this information out and they proceed to confirmation, if their card is accepted, then in your point of sale, an alert will appear that lets you know that an online purchase has just been made. Whether your customer was using the app or they were using the website, you will still get the same alert. And that alert will tell you that an online purchase of a product has just been made. You can even print out the mailing label because the information they typed in is going to be created as a label for you there in the alert. So you can print out the mailing label. You can then take that product off your shelf because once you open that alert, it will remove that product from your inventory, just as though you had sold it in-house. You stick it into the box and ship it off. And hopefully you've charged a shipping and handling fee. Do you have any questions at all on any one of these three parts of the store?
Let's see. Now, you say they can do this on the app or the website?
That's right. That's right, the app or the website.
Now, how do they get the app?
Okay, have you signed up for the app yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, good news. The app is free till the end of the year, completely free to you. All we need to get from you is some artwork. And but the app only works with the cloud version of the software. The website version of it works with the cloud or the installed version. Do you know if you're using the cloud?
I don't think so. I haven't clicked on using the cloud, but I'm not averse to using it. I'm
Sure. And by the way, if you're not currently using the cloud, then we are also, anyone who is signing up to the cloud to get the app, we are waiving the cloud migration fee, so you can move to the cloud for free. But let me pull up your account here. Are you the owner, Madeline?
No.
Okay.
I'm the manager.
You know what? It's even better than saying who's the owner. What's the name of the business?
It's Bishop's Salon.
In Nashville?
In Nashville.
All right, so I've got your account here. Let's take a look. Okay, you're right. You are not currently in the cloud. So if and is Julian the owner?
No, he's no longer here. It's Mitzi.
Oh,
Mitzi Bishop.
that. Is Mitzi spelled M-I-T-Z-I?
That's correct.
Okay. You can tell she's not the first Mitzi I've met. All right. So let's see here. Okay, so if Mitzi is interested in moving up to the cloud and getting the app, as I said, they're both free right now. But you do have workstation licenses. So I do want you to be aware of this. If you move to the cloud, you have to purchase what are called subscriber access licenses for each additional computer that accesses the software in the cloud simultaneously. So that might actually add some additional charges to your monthly. But I just want you to be aware that the migration and your base price does not increase. But based on the number of computers you're going to have accessing the software simultaneously, you might be paying a few dollars for each one of those each month. So that's something to consider. The app itself is completely free till the end of the year. And excuse me, let me show you a little bit about that.
If we're doing this app and we have to have it on every computer?
Well, no, the app, you're talking about the cloud now.
I mean, the cloud. Do we have to have the cloud? I mean, the cloud, I guess, would have to be on every computer, right?
Well, see, this is the thing. The cloud you're going to access it from any computer. That's the nice thing about the cloud. If you've got internet access, you can access the software, which means that you or Mitzi could access it from home. You could be on vacation and go to a friend's computer and get into your software. As long as you've got internet access, you're going to be able to access the software. That's the nice thing about the cloud.
Okay.
And of course, you don't have to worry about backing up your data or anything like that because it's in the cloud. It's no longer, the software is no longer stored on your physical computer. So what the subscriber access licenses that I was telling you about is the number of computers that would be accessing the software simultaneously. So if you say we never ever use more than 3 computers at a time, well, then you would really only need 2 access licenses plus your server license. So but if you said, no, we need to use it on 8 computers at the same time, then you'd get your server license plus 7 subscriber access licenses. That would allow you to access the software on 8 computers simultaneously. But again, it's entirely up to you. You need to determine how many total computers would ever be accessing the software simultaneously. That's the important thing, because even if you only had 1 license, you could still access the software on 1,000 different computers or 10,000 computers as long as they were only accessing it one at a time.
We have, let me just go run this by you. We have 3 computers on our front desk that are up in Pro Solutions at all time.
Mm-hmm.
I have one that I'm always on. That's 4. And we have one in the back that can go on every now and then if they need to for follow-up calls, confirmation calls. And then we have a server.
All right. Okay, so that's a total of 6. So the server license is already part of the fee that you pay every month, so you don't concern yourself with that. So you would need 5 subscriber access licenses if you join to the cloud. Those are normally $9 each individually, but if you were getting 5, then we have a discount down to 7. So you would be paying basically $35 additional dollars a month, 7 times 5, on top of what you currently pay to move to the cloud and use it on 6 computers simultaneously.
Okay, that's mine, 3 up front, that's 4, 5 plus the server. Okay, so 5 plus the server. Okay.
That's right.
And so that's $35 more per month. Okay.
That's right.
Now, can I do that today, or tomorrow, or how do I?
To the cloud, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What I would do is I would have a sales representative, probably Maureen Long. She would contact you to get all the information that she needs to move you up to the cloud. She can contact you today, certainly, and she would send you out a proposal that says, "Hey, you're moving up to the cloud," and you have to accept that proposal. And once you accept that, then she would schedule, or somebody from our office would contact you to schedule your data migration. That way, they can dial into your computers, take your data that you currently have, and move it up to the cloud and give you your subscriber access licenses. And so that from that point forward, you would then be using it in the cloud, and you would no longer be using it installed directly on your computers. So if you'd like, I can have Miss Long contact you when I get off the line with you today.
Let's see.
Or I can give you her extension, and you can contact her after you've spoken to Mitzi.
Yeah, let me talk to Mitzi about it, because I'm sure she'll want to do it, but I just don't know. We're making some changes right now and kind of short. And
I'd love to show you guys the app. And Miss Long can show you the app as well. It's really very powerful. It does a lot more than just those 3 items I told you about that the store does. It's really, really cool. But anyway, having said that, regarding the setup of the online store, that's what you and I have just gone over now. That's essentially the end of this class. Would you like me to email you a copy of the class that you just attended?
Yes, please.
Okay, and I have info@bishopssalon.com. Is that where you'd like me to send it?
That's correct.
Okay, let me go ahead and just write that down, even though I've got it here. Okay, that you should probably have that in about an hour, I'm guessing. And did you have our 800 number?
I'm sure I do. I'm always going to online chat.
Sure. Well, let me just give that to you. It's 800.
Okay.
710.
All right.
3879.
Okay.
And then you would go to extension 128. That's 128. Her
And
name is Maureen Long.
Maureen
and
Long.
She would be able to take care of moving you up to the cloud and getting that app in your hands.
Well, let me ask you this. Does it look any different?
Oh, would you like to see what the app might look like? Because it's going to look
like if they're up front, what they're going to be.
Well, if you're talking about the cloud, it's going to look just like this. It's going to look just the same. But if you're talking about the app, it's going to be on your smartphone. Now, remember, this is for your clients to use, so it's not the software. I can show you a little bit of what it might look like here. Let me go ahead and go to Maureen's here. And so, for instance, the app itself is going to be on your customer's smartphone, and it might look something like this. And then they'll go through the process, for instance, of booking themselves an appointment online. And so the screens might look something like this. Now, they also have what's called a profile in the app. And with the profile, that's a really neat one because it allows your customers to do all sorts of neat things. They can update their information right through their smartphone. If they got married, maybe they changed their last name, or maybe they moved, so they changed their address, or maybe they getting too many spams, so they change their email. So they can actually make changes to their file, and when they do, it actually changes it right in your Transcend software. Also, they can view their service history right through their smartphone. They can see the services that they've gotten from you in the past and who gave it to them, etc. They can see any products that they purchased from you. If you're doing the membership program, they can see how many points they've earned, how many points they have left, etc. They can see the gift certificates and their status, how much money they have left on their certificates, and if you're using series. So there's all sorts of different things that your customers can do in the app. They can even check out things like, hey, what appointments do I have coming up? And they'll see all of their appointments right through click the button, put in the date range, and every appointment they have is going to come up, and they can confirm right through the app as well. So there's a lot of really neat things that the app can do. And we even have an app for your staff so that your staff can check their schedule or do what we call a daily roundup. Basically, it shows everything that's going on that day for that particular staff member. Their schedule, how much money they should make if they do everything that is scheduled for them, how many products they've sold that day, things like that. Okay. So it's really quite powerful.
They can't see, we can put notes on clients' files?
Yes, but those will not appear in the app.
Okay, good. We sometimes don't put the nicest things on some.
Sure, of course. Well, not every client is the nicest client, so I get it. And sometimes you just have to treat them, some clients you have to treat very delicately. And
that's right.
And that's a nice way of putting it, but you don't want the client to know that you're telling your staff, hey, treat this person delicately. So right. I totally get it. I'll go ahead and get that emailed out to you as soon as it's converted. I expect that you'll have that within the hour, and then I'll tell Miss Long that she should probably expect a telephone call from you sometime, perhaps this week.
Okay, great. Thank you, Matt.
All right. My pleasure, Ms. Parks. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.